just waiting to see if this thing goes live. I've also been waiting to have this coffee. The small delay, if this is working, was because I actually put things up on these screens behind me, but they were just too bright. Perfect. That's it. Audio sounds fine. Let's go. Bruh. This is going to be literally the most banger episode. Well, not just the most banger episode. It might be the most banger live stream that I've ever done, or maybe the most banger live stream to ever be done by anyone ever, anywhere, on any platform. That's how hectic this shit is going to get. I need to share this screen straight into boomer mode. Straight into boomer mode. Stream hasn't even started yet. And we're just boomering it. And then we just get rid of this. Boom. Share the whole window. Got it. I think for this first bit, we're going to just do a little, just jewel up. Let's jewel up. Let's jewel up. So, first of all, obviously the standard, you have to go and watch episode 1 if you haven't seen it before. It's got the disclaimers and the way that the DAO works, etc. And this tab is actually just purely to remind me to say that, where this is my Twitter bio where you find everything. It's not in the description below this video. That's deliberate. And this description here in my Twitter bio has got the DILLY DAO address. And I've also updated my bio a little bit here. It's not important, but I've called myself the Sean Connery of crypto. If they act silly, I give them a little schlap. So that's a little update there. And I had to, because you've got limited characters here, so I actually had to truncate everything else down here to be able to fit that in. And now let's also head over to Richard Hart's Twitter. So by the way, follow me on Twitter, because I'm actually going to end up dual streaming these streams to Twitter in one of maybe 3 different ways, or maybe all 3 of them. But the point is, as you can see, I've got a much larger audience over on Twitter. It's almost 14,000. And so, and don't worry, these streams will continue to hit this channel. So it's also worth subbing to this channel, a DeFi Down Under channel. It's going to be both. It's going to be both. So it's worth following both, sub to both. So Richard's Twitter, let's go. 330K followers. Wow. So Richard has been actively tweeting today. I won't spend a lot of time on this. This is this one, look, this one's only within the last hour. So we've got one from 5 hours ago. So the last tweet was September 17. So that's quite a while ago. It's a week. So he hadn't tweeted for a week, and then a tweet 5 hours ago, a tweet 2 hours ago, and a tweet 1 hour ago. I've only retweeted one of those. Might as well just go, you know, if you're a Richard Hart fan, you're a Richard Hart supporter, just always just like and retweet. Oh no, 2 out of 3 I had done. So anyway, I'm not going to interpret what he's trying to say. Go and read them yourself. In this one, or in at least 1 or 2 of them, he's asking, it sounds like he's asking for all of us to add our voice to the public commentary. Now, just be careful. I know you probably just want to jump in and be like, oh my God, I love Richard. He's playing 5,555D chess. He's a galaxy brain. Leave him alone. He's 5,555 steps ahead of you, bro. Before, like, I love comments like that, and that's fine for Twitter. On this particular situation, please take a more considered approach. And if you're unsure about what you're planning to submit, ask someone within the community, hey, what do you think of this? Is there a chance that this could do more harm than good? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Don't necessarily ask me, although you're welcome to message me if you're worried or whatever. And I think as a community, we can work out. And I'm not doing that shit that some people do where they're like, everyone has to do this. Everyone has to do it like this. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, let's at least have a little bit of a consideration of what is being submitted. But it sounds like Richard's not scared. like in terms of scared of people submitting stuff that is imperfect in wording. Enough about that. But this is big. So today we're the 24th of September, and these 3 tweets have been fired out. So Richard's been active today. The HOA website. So remember that on the HOA website, there's this More tab, and some of these things in the More tab, we actually will be talking about briefly on today's stream. So shout out Bullish, shout out Tang Gang, shout out HOA, shout out The Grove. And now we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. So with Bitcoin, in fact, there was a space that Buck did that was really good, that I think it was recorded. I hope it was recorded, where they had Bitcoiners came in, and these Bitcoiners were nice. They were diplomatic. The discussion was really good. I was really impressed that everyone was staying calm, presenting really good points. There were only a few things that I thought were ridiculous, like that was said, that were ridiculous. I won't go into it, but most of the stuff that was being said was very reasonable, very measured. So Bitcoin, obviously in an uptrend, and this is only just the latest uptrend, by the way. It's been in an uptrend the whole year. That's good. That's good for crypto market health. We always start with this. We show that, you know, it looks, Bitcoin is in this ascending channel. I like to see it. I like to see this sort of, you know, this regression trend has drawn this line a little bit low, but if we were to choose a line that sort of more appropriately fits, I would draw something like that, because this is some kind of, you know, fake false breakdown, spring anomaly, whatever you want to call it, right? So, but the point is, it's definitely in an uptrend, even though it has moved from the top of the channel back down. That's fine. I have started telling my family and friends that they need to start paying attention to crypto. They need to start, if at an absolute minimum, they need to start getting what they consider to be an insignificant amount of money and getting some exposure. Obviously, if they ask me what I like, it's things like Pulse Chain and Hex and Bitcoin and various other, you know, I just tell them what the coins that I like. But the point is that having no exposure to crypto is becoming more and more risky as we move further into this bull market. So that's advice that I have given them. That is not advice that I'm giving you. So keep that in mind. The point of this particular show is to, so let me first start by saying, Ivan on Tech had a stream today, and shout out Ivan, shout out the Drinking Coffee. Ivan on Tech is our sister channel, not from this channel, from when I stream with Crypto 7 on Crypto 7's channel. Shout out Crypto 7. That's another channel definitely worth subbing to, especially if you like my content, because I'm on there at least every week. So Ivan on Tech said today, if you have a new chain, you need to demonstrate that there is opportunity. Right? People want to know that they can, if they're going to come make the effort to come over to your chain, that there's a chance for them to make money. So that's what this show is for, right? This is not an endorsement or any kind of buy signal to do with coins. It is simply displaying green dildos. It's displaying things that have happened as examples. It is showing what is possible, right? So that's the point of the Dillyz Down Under DAO and the point of the show. And we flex on green dillies, and we make no promises that those dillies are going to continue to penetrate. These are things that can't be known. Importantly, we always start pretty much out of the Pulse Chain ecosystem. We start with this Pulse Chain chart, right? Now, obviously, when I drew these lines, when I drew these lines must have been sort of like back in here, even though this blue line here shows where, if I can make this a bit fatter so that maybe you guys have a chance of seeing it, whatever. Anyway, so this blue dotted line is just to remind me where the price chart was on the previous episode, like on the right? So, but I must have drawn these lines when we were sort of in here, showing that we were still in an uptrend. And then obviously we've broken that uptrend for now. Now, one of the warning signs, like one of the red flags that should have occurred for me personally is originally I actually had the line like this, right? So I had this line and it got broken. So we know that I must have been drawing these lines post that break. And I said, okay, I'm going to adjust this line so that it still is in an uptrend. Typically, when you find yourself doing that, it's a bad sign, right? It means that the chart is rolling over. If you're starting to go, oh, wait, I can still get an uptrend in here. And I do the same on the downside side, by the way. It's one of the ways. But obviously, I tend to take the bullish stance on both. So with ones like this, I'll be clutching on to the last line of bullish defensiveness. And then on the other way, I'll be early to say, yeah, we've broken the trend. So you just have to do it your way. But here, that's the point, right? So now we've broken this. It's fine. Once Richard started tweeting, or actually, you know what? I don't know the time frame, and it doesn't matter anyway. I don't think that it would actually impact the market. So the point here is we're going to get rid of these lines now that they're broken. This is still an uptrend, right? This is still an uptrend. We haven't set a lower low yet. So this didn't hold as support, but it doesn't mean that we're no longer in an uptrend. It's just not as aggressive, right? The reason this is important to mention at the start of the stream is these candles through here on poles will typically make most charts that we look at look worse. Now, thankfully, most of the charts that we're looking at in this stream have shrugged that shit off and just been like, whatever. In fact, I just thought of this as a funny pun. Well, is it a pun? Like water off a duck's back, because the first token that we're looking at is, and I swear to God, I just thought of that on the fly. Not that it makes it any less lame. That the first token that we're looking at, after I move this over to here so that I know that that's where we were up to. Oh, yeah, and so by the way, we're still, yeah, this still looks, this was theoretically the low, and we haven't gone back and made another low even on the shorter term timeframes. So the first coin that we're going to be looking at is duck. So by the way, yeah, I must have drawn these lines where this arrow is starting from. And it sort of went down a little bit like what I was thinking. Basically, this token duck, it's only just over a week old. But it has pumped and is in this uptrend, sort of a slightly narrowing ascending channel. And I thought that, you know, it seemed reasonable that as a potential bullish case that this thing could return back to the top of the channel, which would be up here. Do I need to show you guys anything else on, like, in terms of, I'm just going to put that blue line in immediately before I forget. Right. So it did actually pump from where I was looking at it. It did actually pump, but then maybe the whole, in fact, you know what? We're not here to speculate on the reasons of why these things do them. We're here purely to look at the technicals. Mostly. Sometimes I do comment a little bit further if I happen to know more detail. So I'm just going to put a line through here as a potential support. Where else could we get support? We're already under that one, that was the blow off top of that first move, or one of the early moves. Yeah, I think that's reasonable support level, and we've seen that it's been a level of significance. In fact, are you guys able to see everything that I'm looking at? Maybe now we do need to switch to this mode. So, yeah. So hopefully, in fact, we haven't got it. The charts we've looked at so far have just been sort of, for context, they're not really that important that you can see the exact lines and stuff. So I'm not going to go back. We only move forward. Never look back. You're not going that way. Right. So what are we doing here? Oh yeah. So look, it does look like that is probably the next area of support. But I mean, look, the price is moving up at the moment. So maybe we look for potential resistance. Would probably be out the way. Maybe this. But I mean, this early in a coin's life, whatever. So anyway, we're going to keep an eye on this. So this will not be the last time that you see this chart. We're going to keep an eye on this and take a look at how it goes. Take a look to see if this uptrend does continue on, etc. Oh, and I'm doing a little bit of a mix here. So I'm going to try and keep this stream interesting by we're going to be going basically between charts and news, or charts and things worth knowing. So the farms that were the Orange Grove farms that were created by the same team as the Pussycat meme coin, which is all within the TANG gang, hence why they call this the Orange Grove. They're calling this the People's Farm, where there's no gatekeeping and there's clear, very clear, nothing's hidden in terms of the deposit fees not hidden, and they're using the V2 pools. And in fact, I'm still unaware of any other farms on that are on Pulse Chain that actually use the V2 Pulse X pools so that you can earn the fees and the incentive token at the same time. So they've been great. I've noticed that they've been taking tech support questions in their Telegram group, which is just their Pussycat Telegram group. They don't have a separate Telegram group for this farm. If you do see that, it's a scam, right? So they're doing it all through their main Telegram, and they've been taking tech support. They've been helping people with tech support. I even noticed that they were giving people some tech support with stuff that was technically not part of their protocol, like stuck transactions and things like that. So that's pretty cool. So the idea here, I think, is they did a poll. The poll came back very strongly saying, I should get better at doing this. The poll came back super strongly saying Hex. The poll options were Hex, Pulse X, NBC, which is another Tangang coin, it stands for Neckbeard coin. And I noticed that in the comments, quite a few people had asked for PEPE, right? So those seem to be the ones that they're considering / people are wanting, but the votes for Hex were just through the roof. Now, look, that might just be because the Hex community is still very, very, very strong and very dominant within the Pulse Chain ecosystem. But regardless, they didn't make any promises. They didn't do Elon Musk shit and say, we will abide by the results of this poll. They just wanted to know what was up. And so this is the first pool, right? So they've had farms cranking. They've had these farms cranking for a bit, and this was the first pool, and it's Hex. So that's pretty cool. It's that when I actually was setting up for this stream, that was 1,000%. But these numbers move around a bit, so you expect to see this go up and down with the price of the coin, and the other variables. So without spending too long on that, I'll pull up. I'm going to jump a little bit ahead and pull up. This is actually the chart of the incentive coin that is linked to that farm. And so this actually has done a big pump ever since on the announcement of the Hex pools. And when they actually launched the farms originally, both their tokens pumped hard. And I don't think their other token, I don't think their meme coin has pumped off this particular announcement. That's not to say whether it will or won't or anything. I'm just saying I noticed that this went hard and did a 2.5x off the announcement of that new farm. And this is the pattern that I drew. So you basically descending wedge. This was where so we were here at the last stream. So this pump has actually only just brought us back to roughly what the price of this token was at the time of the last stream, but the more significant comment is it breaks us out of this pattern. So even though that pump only gets it back to roughly where the price was the last time we looked at this chart. So we're going to just move this blue line now. I think that's enough said about that. Obviously, it's a dynamic situation as more and more people now if it goes pervasive through the Hex community and more people find out about the farms, more participation, more, whatever, then who knows? So this could be a hot chart in terms of volatile, not hot as in hot cheap alts, hot as in volatile. Like we could see some volatility and some volume. So it's already had like $670 worth of volume or whatever just since that event. So now we go all the way back over to here. So this is the coin that the Dilly DAO kind of like adopted, because the person that created it sent nearly the whole supply into the Dilly DAO. And I was thinking, I'm not promising that I'm going to do this, but, and it wouldn't be me anyway, it would be the DAO. Like, so no expectations, no promises, but we were thinking of some cool ideas, like maybe this token could get distributed out to addresses that have participated in the DAO so far, right? So to be like a token representation that if that's in their wallet, it indicates that they had participated in the DAO, something cool like that, just to distribute the coins. And I mean, it does have a market, but who cares? And yeah, but we don't know for sure, right? Like I'm trying at the moment, everything has been so time consuming that I'm trying not to launch into any cool ideas where you need good ability to deal with the block explorer stuff until the block explorers become really robust, right? So there's going to be a lot of improvements and a lot of cool ideas to do with this show and to do with the Dilly DAO that are going to happen once we've got more robust infrastructure. To give you some idea, at the moment, none of the scanners will tell you what the dollar values of the tokens are. So if someone dusts the wallet, which has been happening a lot, in fact, that's something I wanted to mention before. Sorry for bouncing around, but you know my name is Tangent. So many people have been sending in so many coins, which is great to see. The dust can get a bit annoying because, like I said, there's no way to easily tell. I have to go and manually check what is dust and what is not dust. But you know, it's a small, we're doing this for the culture. I'm doing it for the Dilly DAO. I don't benefit. I'm doing it because it's fun and interesting, and it's been really great so far. Like, as in, it's been an innovative and interesting way to do the shit, and I'm sticking with it, even though there's still some things that either need to be improved and or things that will improve just naturally. So I wanted to show this chart anyway. The last time we actually looked at it, the blue line has gone missing, but I think the blue line's actually on the other chart. I should have actually mentioned on the previous. So the last time we actually looked at this, no, that can't be right. I thought it had already pumped and was on its way back down. Who knows? Who knows? So according to this blue line, which may or may not be right, it was saying the last time we looked at the chart was here before it went on this like giga pump. Remember that this is very low liquidity. So, but it is interesting that these support levels actually did hold here, and now it appears here. So I'm going to move this blue line. We're going to go back and look at the charts that we've looked at so far to see whether they were in dollars or not. There's only really two. There was duck. Oh, so this is duck in dollars. So the chart should look even better, I think, if we go and look at it in, yeah, oh, wow. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, shit. Fuck, dare I draw a pattern this fucking bullish, guys? Holy shit. Hold up. We need to go back to, don't worry. Maybe one day the Dilly DAO will actually pull its finger out of its ass and pay for some cool shit for the streams, like a producer. And I thought I needed thumbnails, but the Tang Gang's got that shit covered. Someone AI generated the thumb for this stream on the fly. I was like, do you guys have any pictures of like cool pictures of ducks that would make good thumbnails or something similar to that? I'm paraphrasing, obviously. And yeah, it was just like, hey, do you want this, like all these really cool pictures. And in fact, there's one that was even cooler than what I picked, I think, by a little bit, but it doesn't matter. So this needs to be adjusted even more. so that we actually clip. Now, keep in mind, this has only had, so far, this has only had, we're going to clean up this pattern. Right. There we go. Sorry, I can clean this up when you guys are not waiting for me to drop alpha bombs. So that's a legitimate triangle. But it's only got 2 touch points so far. 2 touch points on the bottom and 3 across the top. And maybe someone could argue that really this is not, like, as in, if you're using candle closes, then this is more of an angled line. But patterns like triangles are better, even if so even if you're not like linking up closes or whatever, or sorry, candle body edges. Triangle patterns are better because they're less able to be adjusted, so you don't end up adjusting them as it keeps getting broken. Like triangles kind of show you quite, you know, if this goes below this line at any point, then it's not a triangle anymore. And if it goes above this, well, then it could be breaking out, or it could be faking out, or it could be not a triangle. So that's bullish. That's looking bullish. That's looking really bullish so far. Back to, what was the other one we looked at? Oh, we looked at OG. That was also against the dollar. So let's have a look at that one against Pulse. It's uglier in terms of it's like harder to draw shit. Oh, log. Oof. Oh, so like on the log scale, it's barely moved. Like it's just, but it is new. It's only, what, 2 weeks? Wow, time flies. Holy shit, time flies. That's a 2-week old coin. I think I've been looking at too many coins that are like 4 hours to a day old. I'm like, what? This coin's older than 24 hours. Get it the fuck out of here. So that's a 2-week old coin now. It will, over time, will get more structure, I guess. I'm not going to spend too much more time on that, because the next thing I want to talk about, it's too late if you don't already know about this because it's minted out. So when I started prepping for this stream originally, this was not minted out. So part of this stream was going to be like hyping it up and being like, look how many is minted so far and how many mints are left to go. It's a NFT, the first video NFTs that were ever dropped on Pulse Chain by an artist named Mana, and she did a free edition, 3 open editions, which are pretty cool, for a range of different holders, including HOA and some other projects that I don't remember, and then did the paid mint, which is now sold out. So only 369. So 369 out of 369. You can go and grab them off secondary, obviously. And I think the marketplace that she chose, or the marketplace that was linked from the HOA website, is Beatbox. And some of these are so insanely good. Like there's ones that, well, sorry, they're all insanely good, but as in some of them really speak to me personally, like the ones with guns and the ones with hexagons. And I guess like the one, just any of the, so I did actually get one of these in and put it in my, minted it to my public wallet, and just, you know, for the culture, support the Tang gang, etc. And yeah, these, I think I better move off this page before I get fucking mesmerized. Oh, and also shit. Wait, I'm being a boomer, like trying to cover the screen with, I just realized some of them are not safe for work. And so this freaking, hopefully they were small enough and no one is enough of a fuckhead to like report the stream or whatever for nudity. Fuck. Shit. All right, let's hope. Otherwise, fuck, I'll work something out. I really don't want to redo this stream because it's like, I like my hype my hype and energy to be genuine. I don't want to have to like go back and then replicate how pumped I am about all this different shit in a later stream, like a remake. So anyway, moving along. So this is another TANG coin actually. Because there were so many new coins that got sent into the DAO, I can't do all the TANG coins on this. Normally I do the TANG coins on almost every episode. There was an early sponsorship that came from one of the TANG projects that was like, until you get heaps of coins. And even though that's still the deal, that obviously when I've got too many coins, the TANG ones are the ones that are allowed to be dropped off. I do like to keep an eye on them. And this is one that I thought is worth mentioning, even though all the other coins I've removed for this stream, just for time thing. And in fact, I might even do 2 streams like this week. So where Sunday, I didn't do one on Thursday. That would have been to keep it on the 1 per week. So this one's a little bit late anyway. So I might do another one, and then if I do, that'll definitely have the TANG coins in it, guys. Before you guys get, in fact, the TANG is chill. They're so chill. They're so chill. Nothing upsets them. They're just so chill. You could be like, hey, TANG. No, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna make crude jokes. So this is Furu, and it's been. I just wanted to show this as this is JEET capitulation, or it appears to be JEET capitulation when you see big red candle. And if we give the broader context of this coin, and in fact, 4 hour might be okay, right? So this had a step down, another step down, another step down, then another step down. That appears to be a big capitulation. People spitting the dummy, shitting the nappy, saying, I've had enough. I don't want to be in this coin anymore. I don't care about the culture. I don't care about children. I don't care about the safety of my fellow man. I'm just going to JEET this thing at a massive loss. Then it literally bounced up and recovered like a bullish engulfing recovery, if you will. I guess if we put on like a daily candle, it might look like, yeah. Pretty much just went and did like close to a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. And then while it has continued to go down a little bit, it looks like it's in an uptrend. So, but the point of this is not to get defensive of TANG coins and hate on JEETs. It's to highlight that sometimes when you see a coin someone just spit the dummy and just completely exit, that can be a buying opportunity. And however, if you had maybe thought that you would, so there's 2 examples here, right? This one appears for now to have been a good buying opportunity. But if someone had done the same thing here, then now they'd be down. Only by a small amount though. Let's measure that. If you bought the dip over here, after all this tomfoolery, you'd be down like 55%. So, yeah, like, some people don't like being down at all, but 55% is not that crazy for a speculative shit coin, So next up, shout out Patius. Ty and I have been saying that, have I gone back to the correct mode? Yes. Ty and I have been saying that our tech stack, and I'm sure that he and I are not the only ones that are using this tech stack. I think most people would be, or most people should be. It is Pulse Chain as the layer 1 EVM smart contract, greatest smart contract platform ever made. WABBIT wallet as the interface, and Patius as the DEX aggregator, because we all know that speculation is still the dominant crypto use case. And so that's your tech stack for buying and selling on the chain, right? Or buying and selling crypto in general. That's my preferred stack. I'm not saying that you have to use it. I'm just saying that's what I use and it's great, right? So PEPE does have a coin and we chart it, you know, from time to time or whenever. And it doesn't have a blue line here. So I must have forgotten to put the blue line of the last time that we looked at it. So we're going to fix that for next time. Go in here, go in here, go in large. Oh, wait, actually, maybe it was on the other one. Yes. Oh, this dual base is like effing me up more than I thought it would, but here we go. So we must have been over here on the against dollar chart, and then obviously in prep for this stream. So we're still below. This is this orange dotted line, if you can see that. Try and make it a bit thicker for you to see. That is the base SAC rate. So still below that. So people that are buying now are still getting a discount on that base SAC rate. The last stream that we did, we were in here. And now I'm going to move this blue line, and I'm also going to extend this. So that regression trend still looks reasonable. Obviously, it's not quite as aggressive in terms of the uptrend, but that still looks reasonable to me in terms of the regression trend is grabbing the highs of the channel and the lows. Theoretically, if this is if it is bouncing off the lows of the channel, and you know, I'm hoping that it, you know, will go back over. In fact, I hope all projects that had SACs go back over their SAC rates, including Pulse and Pulse X, because that's when the sentiment from people who SACed becomes positive, assuming that they didn't panic sell the bottoms like those JEETs on the Furu chart. But I'm a fan of, look, I'm a fan of this protocol. What the price of the token does for me is separate, but you know what I mean? Like, as in, I'm a big fan of I'm a big fan. And I did one of my investment theses recently, you know how I had that one where if I read it and it makes me laugh, I buy some of it. If it's linked or founded by someone that I think has like sort of like an influencer coin, that's why I bought Hex originally, then that's one. And then another one that I tried to force myself to do, but I never actually stuck to it, was I need to use the tech. I need, like, and I tried to make a rule for myself. If I don't actually use the tech, then I try not to buy the coin. That I failed miserably on that effort, and went back into like speculation mode, and I was buying all sorts of coins at the time of protocols that I wasn't using, right? Like, I've held Aave, never used Aave. I've held Compound, never used Compound. I've held, like, I could list a million coins from the past that I've held without ever using the tech. And I think the reason why it's good to have that as like, maybe not a hard and fast, like a hard rule of like where it is a deal breaker / maker, is just that if you get excited about it and actually use it, then it's likely that other people are going to get excited about it and use it. And in this particular case, just as an example, PEPE has got their token is in the hot list, right? So if this becomes the place to trade because it's got the best order routing, and I mean, if you guys have got time, I could show you that, like, say, this is not connected to a wallet, so I'm not actually sure whether it will allow, but say you wanted to buy like $1,000 worth of PEPE, right? It looks like it's doing it. So, and hopefully in future, the DAO will facilitate us to be able to do all sorts of cool shit that actually can be done live. Maybe, no promises, no, like, I would have to look at the OPSEC implications of like doing shit live. I've never done it before. Richard Hart doesn't even share his screen. Richard Hart does not even share his screen. So no promises. I'll have to look into that, but it's something cool that we could do maybe with some of the stuff that's in the DAO. And that's why, if you are a fan of a project where their shit is like more than just buy and hold the token, then definitely encourage them to participate in the DILLY DAO, and tell them that not only will they get their chart charted for participation, there's also potential that the DAO might go like that. I might go and on the streams and start effing around with their protocol, because the DAO will actually have the tokens. So we'll be able to F around with stuff live, potentially, if I decide it's not an OPSEC problem, without me having to connect wallets that I don't want doxed and shit like that. So there's all sorts of cool shit that this is going to facilitate. The emergent properties of this idea that I came up with the Dilly DAO has just been, it's just got better and better and better. And the problems that I've faced have just been very minor, right? So let's take a look at this route. So this one has split the route up into two main paths. One of them just uses the FUX pool, and that's PHUX. I'm not swearing, even though I'm allowed to fucking swear if I want to. I usually do it just for emphasis. So DAI to PTS token here, 92, or just under 9. Oh, so look, it just updated before our eyes. So obviously every now and then it's just rechecking whether there's an even better path. So literally while we've been sitting here, and it just went back, right? So it's constantly looking for the best path to get you the maximum output coins. And it takes into account the cost of the fees, i.e., so it takes the gas fees into account. And remember that each of these steps, and particularly when it splits a step up into two, so this is now split into 3. And within this, there's steps within the steps that also are split, right? So that for that, so it's like, you could argue that it's actually it's showing it as if it's 3 paths, but technically those ones that have got the, those ones that have got the dual split, that's actually like almost their own path. But then I guess I guess there is a difference, that it's bringing those back together to go into the next step. So it makes sense for them to display it like this. But it's freaking amazing. In all of the checks that I've ever done, it's always been giving me the highest output. But feel free to message me or comment on the video if you think there's some kind of protocol out there that can get you higher outputs, even if it's just for very niche situations, like saying, hey guys, in this particular situation, I've noticed that I can get a better deal over here or whatever. I think that's the challenge that we should be throwing out there, because I haven't seen it yet, right? So every time I've ever looked at anything, there have been some times where PTS, it just comes up with insufficient liquidity for this trade, and because it's some kind of niche bullshit and it just won't do it. That has happened and you have to go somewhere else. But I've never seen, if it gives you a path, I've never seen it give a path and it not be the best deal. Just in my checking, right? So that's anecdotal at best, that I'm just checking as I go. So that's very limited compared to the number of possibilities that are out there, but it's 100% of my testing has shown this to be best. So what's my point here? Oh, the other thing I want to say about this, without it sounding like I'm going full buffing PTS and the team, because I do consider them to be in the category of GigaChad devs with 9 mil. Wait, how did we miss 9 mil earlier in the stream? So 9 mil and Pussycat and PTS, I consider all of these projects to have GigaChad get devs. Shit, I must have accidentally shut the 9 mil tab. That's normally, let's just do it now. So, sorry, I'll finish what I was saying. Over here. I think I might have mentioned this in the last stream, but PTS, so some of the coins within the TANG gang, including HOA and that, and some of the conversations that I had been having on Twitter, noticed that sometimes there were certain LPs that were not being utilized to their best optimization. So that wasn't to say that PTS wasn't giving the best output amount. It was just saying that people noticed that maybe it could be even better. They literally implemented it in hours. They were just like, hey guys, we'll take a look at what you guys are talking about. And then they were just like, boom, we've added it, done. It was incredible. So now, apologies to 9 mil. I meant to shout them out. Do we keep going with this idea of going chart news? So we'll slot that one over to here. Oh, it was there. Boomer. Fucking boomers, bro. Can we get a new anchor for this news station? I swear to God, these boomers, man. These freaking boomers, man. So that can get closed. So that's why it wasn't at the start, because I had decided to do this chart news. Not that necessarily, I don't want to call it news. It's like, oh wait, wrong chart. Oh, jumping ahead. Even though, I mean, if people want to sing along, they can actually, when I put the stream up and it's got the countdown to when we're starting, in the description is the contract addresses of all the coins that we're going to look at. So it's not like, oh no, someone got to see like, it's not like, oh no, we skipped ahead and you saw like you ruined the surprise, man. Oh, I had a surprise birthday party. This is the Russell Brand. This is the Russell Brand shit. Oh, I was trying to organize a surprise party and you fucking ruined it. Speaking of Russell Brand, I stand with Russell Brand. Innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. Otherwise, the society that we live in is fucked. Now, I personally already worked out that the society that we were living in was heading in the wrong direction economically when wait staff at cafes started flexing how many eggs were in the breakfast meals. Sir, that's actually a 3-egg omelet. That was me thinking, oh, fuck, the economy is fucked. If this dude is flexing that there's an extra egg, like what's in a standard omelet? Is it 2 eggs? I don't even know. I don't even know, because never until that point did anyone ever tell you how many eggs were in the omelet. It wasn't a flex, bro. It was never a flex until the fucking economy got fucked. So, well, not just economy getting fucked. Economies have been fucked in the past. It's like, whoa, easy on the swearing. Inflation. So, naughty word. Naughty word. See, when I said that I'll try not to swear on stream, it was nothing to do with saying fuck. Swear words are shit like inflation. So that's how we do it. That's Dilly. Why am I on that chart? Come on, guys. I'm gonna totally blame Mana. I'm gonna blame Mana if this stream gets pulled. Be like, bro, what were you thinking? So I've lost the plot. We were talking about Petius. We looked at their chart. Okay, yeah, so it's bouncing at the moment. And we wanted to also look at their chart in terms of against PLS. Let's keep it on track from now, right? Because I don't want this. I've done actually really well in all the streams so far. They've only been most of them are just over an hour. So I think that having the tabs tends to keep me on track. So what we've got here, obviously I drew that line on a different time scale, maybe daily. No, maybe hourly. Yep. So over here on Petius, double bottom, even though I don't put a lot of weight into double bottoms, a lot of people do. Double bottom, and this is what Hans likes to see, is that the second part of the W has a higher low, right? So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. 843. So this is what it's worth in pulse. So this is kind of a cool number in terms of unit bias, like heading towards 1,000 pulse. Oh, get rid of that. We need to keep an eye on that. I think this is one of those situations where when you've only just gone through what might end up being the all-time low, you need more time to let it breathe, right? You definitely need more time. So we're going to come back to that chart on a future episode for sure. Pulse OG, this is the 9 mil team. Just absolute giga chads. So by the way, all the devs are very accessible, right? You can go into the 9 mil chat. You can go into the 9 mil Telegram. You can go into the Pussycat Telegram. You can go into, who else was I calling giga chat? Oh, Petius. You can go into the Petius Telegram. Very accessible. It's weird that they seem to almost be like online 24/7, but I'm sure that maybe it's like one account that's being handled, like managed by a team, so that like multiple devs and community like team members or whatever can access that same account. Maybe that's why they almost all of them almost always reply nearly straight away. We are in an industry where you have access to being able to directly communicate with the like Giga Chad devs, the people that are building the shit, the people that are the creators of this entire experience that we are having. And I know that this is probably triggering some people's epilepsy, or at least their OCD. So how funny was that when I realized that Mana's work was not safe for work and I tried to put my hand over the screen? Fucking boomer, bro. Fucking boomer. What the shit? So this needs to go. This needs to go. So the 9 mil token doesn't exist yet, but I was about to say when it does, it's going to be a banger. I just think it's going to be a banger. Like, I'm not saying that financially. I just think it's going to be a fucking banger, right? Like, and the way that you can secure your ability to definitely get some is if you buy these NFTs, these Pulse OG NFTs. So actually, let's take a step back, right? It's embarrassing how GigaChad these guys are. It's embarrassing for everyone else, right? That in the entire ecosystem. That's not true. There's heaps of cool builders, but I just want to highlight that with 9 mil, right? The best block scanner that's been created. Wait till once it's fully indexed. I have high hopes, obviously, for the things that I personally need in a block scanner. I think the most likely chance of actually getting those things is via the 9 mil scanner. The official Pulse Chain chat added the 9 mil block scanner into their auto messaging shit. That's like, that shit is normally effing unheard of. That stuff that is not built directly by, you know, the direct team surrounding RH products is even mentioned. Like, I think it might be the first time I've seen it. So the 9 mil block scanner, it's now in the freaking Pulse Chain Telegram chat. They're also building the first DEX, which I think might actually already be up. Let's check that. I think it's just DEX. So this is mint.9mil.pro. If you want to get these NFTs that are going to get the distributions of the 9 mil tokens spread out over a 20-month period, or 19 months once the initial, I think it starts and drops some, and then 19 months. So yeah, whatever. I think it's dex.9mil.pro. So they are likely to be the first DEX that's going to have Uniswap v3. Mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop, bitches. Mic drop. So first V3, so first Uniswap v3 DEX to hit Pulse Chain. First functioning block scanner that's not a fucking LARP to hit Pulse Chain. NFT marketplace, obviously there's set like that's going to be competing against all the other NFT marketplaces. We'll see which one's best, and I don't care which one it is. Also, and their own NFT project. I might be missing one thing, right? So they just decided to go large, and I'm pretty sure the dev, like the main dev that's publicly active, has been a part of Pulse Chain, like was one of the mods for the Pulse Chain. Oh, maybe that explains how it got into that. Maybe that explains how the 9 mil scanner got into the official stuff in that Pulse Chain Telegram chat. That would explain it if he's one of the like well-respected mods. And apologies for assuming gender, because I think it might be an anon. So this is still loading. But anyway, I was on another machine. I was on like that one, I think, and I saw that 9 mil. Let's actually just go. Sorry, I'm spending so long on this, but it's worth knowing. So you can just go to 9mm.pro and in fact, you know what? You guys just go and look at it. Oh, there's the DEX there. Oh, huh? Did I maybe have like, oh no, that takes you to mint 9. Maybe they dropped like a early release access link in the TANG or something, but I swear I was on that computer behind me and was on there, like it had the DEX, like it was, anyway. You guys go and check it out, 9mm.pro. They are part of the TANG gang. They've leaned into the TANG gang, and I'm bullish on their entire ecosystem. Glass is the next token that we are looking at. So glad I didn't fumble the bag on that little commentary on the 9mm stuff. This chart on Glass, I haven't drawn TA. See, this is what happens when people dust the wallet. All my prep time, pardon me, all my prep time for the stream ends up being me in a spreadsheet trying to work out what the F is going on. So let's go to a higher time frame because this looks pretty volatile. So don't quote me on this, but this might be an Atropa coin, maybe. You know, it's pumped here and now it's up. Now it's ranging in here. You've got some. I personally like playing around with like a little bit with coins that have got huge volatility. If I can pick some kind of pattern, like a range that it's in or something like that, then I'll sometimes like to play around. This looks like it might have been a flag. And in fact, I think I've already drawn this. Let's go back to this over here. What the hell? Is there another chart that is really similar or something? Oh, it's that one. So that's actually a different coin. The flag that I was going to show. Okay, stick with me. Stick with me. Don't lose focus. Not that one. I know that looks great. I know that looks great. Shut up. That's next. So it's fine. It's fine. Let's go over here. This is the chart. Log scale. So yeah, look, high volatility. It's got decent liquidity. It's got like 8K of liquidity. And highly volatile. I'm going to get rid of these lines here. How old is this coin? Oh, it's actually 2 months old. So it is not a new coin. I mean, this entire thing could be a flag. Let's get moon. Fuck it. Let's get moonish. That's what we're here for, right? It's called the Dilly DAO. Yeah. More expensive than Bitcoin. Let's fucking go. LFG. We're here to show Dillies. That's what's possible. More expensive than Bitcoin. Let's go. In fact, let's make a whole bunch of coins that are more expensive than Bitcoin. So that's a possible bull scenario. The bear scenario is also that it could come back down to find support over here. So I think they're pretty fair. Like that would be your bear and that would be your bull. And so let's just look at what they are in percentage terms. I'm unfamiliar with why it's called Glass. I was actually talking to someone about this coin, but forgot whether we talked about why it's called that. Some of these coins, the names are just random, like they're just make a name up just so it has a name. So just in terms of it being distinguishable against other things. So that's a 55% drop if it has to come back down and find support there. And this is a 8x. Fucking hell. How much X's has this done from, like, say, if someone bought it at the bottom of this accumulation period to now? 6x, 6.5x. Okay, we'll mark this with the blue and come back to it if it is relevant. Oh, I've been evolving how I choose what coins come back on the show. Like, obviously, if more coins get token gated again, then it comes back on the show anyway. But then sometimes I actually look at reasons why I might bring something back on the show. And so obviously if something pumps ridiculous and I want to show the Dillyz, then that would almost certainly bring a coin back on the show. So every coin that's ever been on the show will actually stay on some kind of list. And we all know that most of us are already on some kind of list. So the coins will stay on, like, I'll have a list of every coin that, well, I mean, the list is actually what you see in the DAO, right? Like, as in, so the list stores itself by the tokens that are in the DAO. But the point is, in terms of like having the charts that we can go back and look at. And so I'm not promising that this coin will be on the next stream or anything like that, but we'll just mark it off anyway with the blue and see what's up. Speaking of, this was accidental, by the way. The next coin is actually called UPUP. So now we're going to see what's up. Now, this is actually pretty nuts. So, oh, and this is the one I was thinking of when, you know, on the DILLY DAO chart, where I said, oh, I thought the blue line was in a different spot. It's because they both had these giga pumps. So let me just go to a slightly higher time frame here. I want the candles to be wider so that you guys can see them better. I am trying as much as possible to keep an eye on the what you guys see, just so that I know that it looks, that you can see what's going on. So anyway, this is the one I was thinking of. Lesson learned. In future streams, I won't be like, wasn't there a fucking line over here or something? Because it's almost certainly a different chart. We streamed when this had come off the high and was on its way down. And obviously at the time, we didn't know where that was going to go. But what's interesting is this coin has come continuously, like time and time again, whenever it's pumped and come back down, it has maintained this upward sloping trend line, like almost to an eerie level, right? In terms of how well this trend line has stayed intact. Now, that's no guarantee that it's going to hold forever. But what I'm doing is whenever the coin comes back to this and comes to this trend line, I'm buying some of it. And then when it pumps away from the line, I sell some or all, right? That's just what I'm doing. I'm not suggesting that anyone else needs to do the same thing. It's just something that I'm looking at just out of interest, because this line has just held so well that I don't know for sure, but it appears that someone is either manually, or there's either an automatic mechanism, or someone is manually defending that specific line. You know, we joked around about how the coin is called up, like up. It's called up. It's called up only, or coin goes up or something. Let's just go in here and just go up. Name of the coin is number go up. Sorry, I knew it was something similar to that, right? So number go up, and it appears that whatever is dealing with this thing wants the thing to go up and have like almost like this could be some kind of rising floor, right? So they're potentially slowly rising the floor, and then They don't care if people pump and dump the coin, buyers and sellers come in and move it off that floor. And then just as long as that floor is maintained, then over time, it could potentially develop a reputation for only going up. Now, we know that in Hex, that narrative was being presented by some, and eventually that narrative broke and people got wrecked because they actually bought into this idea that it can only go up and to the right. So I'm not suggesting in any real market, you cannot guarantee that something will only go up. However, it can happen if it has the backing, if it has the financial backing of a like a benevolent whale that wants the chart to only go up and they're willing to defend that floor, then it is possible, right? So I'm just interested. I haven't seen a chart like this before, where it's not a honeypot, not some kind of like botted scam thing where it just continually grinds up, right? So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this floor. And obviously when I buy, when it comes back down to this level, so I bought this most recent pullback to the trend line. And then I sold at least part of it, I think, as it pumped. Obviously, yeah, anyway, like the point is that, that's it. That's what I'm doing. And I think it's just an interesting one to keep an eye on. And we will continue to watch whether this thing, and look, this wouldn't have come to my attention or yours if you're a viewer, if it hadn't been for the Dilly DAO, because I probably wouldn't have found this coin. It's another interesting example of how the Dilly DAO has just broadening people's awareness of cool shit. This is one of the charts that I was like, I'm keen to show this as an example of something that doesn't normally happen, and wait for it to break the upward trend and not be an up only coin anymore, because we've sure as shit seen a lot of coins that are basically down forever coins. And so it might be nice to have one that actually only goes up. But just to be clear, the reason why I'm specifically looking at this floor is because there have been do we count this? 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 times where it's left, but almost every time it has come back to that floor. So I'm not buying it when it's away from this line. Personally, some people obviously are. And in some cases, this freaking thing, let's look at what, I think this coin has done a 3x from when it was originally sent into the DAO. And that also, just in that one move, was a 3.5x. So let's move this blue line over to here so that we can, the next time we look at it, we can see what's up. Next. Sorry for spending so long on that. I think because obviously I have to be super cautious if I'm talking about a trade idea as opposed to just looking at the chart. But so the point is, you don't have to do shit, right? You make your own decisions. This is something that I'm doing for fun, by the way, with tiny amounts of money. So if you think there's going to be tears before bedtime, then do one of 2 things. Don't get involved, or wait, 3 things. Don't get involved, or shut the fuck up, or wait, was it just 2 things? Yeah, it was just 2 things. Mainly shut the fuck up. Or have a cry, like I give a fuck. Next chart. This one I was going to remove from the stream, but we kept it in here. But I decided to just mention that this is the Pulse X chart that I was crying about, along with everyone else that's like, oh my God, please be the bottom. It looks for now like it could have been the bottom. look, we were looking at a doomsday scenario of like down here, which was like another 83% drop. We were looking at a moon boy scenario where the chart was going to pump so hard that time was actually going to like warp and go in reverse. And then like some more sort of reasonable potential scenarios, like bullish scenario of going up to the next fib or whatever. And by the way, these fibs are warped now. They're assuming it's like hyper low. Let's put this fib back where it should be. Let's put this fib back at that actual bottom. Let's assume that that's actually going to be the bottom. So this one would actually be like this, which probably is like more like this. It's actually kind of on track to do this, I guess, sort of. It never actually dropped down to this next support level. Look, here's the important part, right? Like, forget all this shit. It's all just like, oh, maybe it'll do this, maybe it'll do that. It'll go down, up, or sideways. We're starting to make higher lows and higher highs, right? Bullish. And that's on a daily chart. That's no small time frame shit. Let's go and look at the 5-minute chart and FOMO into an Atropa coin, right? This is real shit. This is daily chart, higher highs, higher lows. Let's fucking go. In fact, fuck it, leave those on there. I like my charts all messy with shit everywhere so that people can't tell later whether I was wrong or right. Down, up, or sideways, right? Next chart, LEELU. So this is LEELU. I don't know if that's like a movie character or whatever. I'm a boomer, right? Okay, so I don't keep up with what's up to date, what the kids are into these days. LEELU's probably some fucking SpongeBob SquarePants that that the kids are into. So we've got higher low. Oh, so I mean, the last time we streamed, this thing had already come back, but we weren't sure whether that was actually going to find support on that particular level, and it obviously did. Pumped a bit, came down, put in a higher low. So that's put in a higher low. Like, I know that this looks atrocious, but the coin is only, it's 26 days. So it ran up parabolic. It put in a higher, like it Bitcoined it. It made it look like we were going to make new highs. This could have trapped some people thinking, okay, I always get bullish at all-time highs. So when you're breaking highs, I would have actually been bullish up here. And so this is an example where I would have been wrong with that attitude, and that's fine, right? So you can't be right all the time. So I would have been bullish at the higher highs. It would have crashed, obviously, by around here. I would have been like, oh shit, and then dead cat bounce. And now, look, this is the sort of shit that some people look for, is like a full reset of price, right? That it's come down like 70%. Don't some people look for 68%? It's like, I think some people look for a 68% retracement. So that's done that. So you could actually start to look at this if you were interested in this particular coin, right? Like if you were interested in it anyway, then this might be a not crazy time to consider moving into a position. Now let's go to the next one. That's HTR, and this one stands for high something or other, high something returns. Oh no, it's hype train. Hype train. Get on the hype train. That's just given me an idea for a coin that I'm not going to say the name of, because it's like whenever we joke around about coin ideas, whether it's in a Twitter space or on a stream, someone actually just goes and makes the coin. And typically they fuck it up. So we're not doing that mistake anymore. Hype train. Why has this got no TA on it? It's either a new coin to the Dilly DAO or, oh no, we looked at the coin over here. Looked at the coin over here. It was a pullback. It was on a pullback, and then it actually continued going down. So look, this doesn't look terrible. This again could be like this reload shit, like this. what's this pullback? Yeah, like 60% pullback. You know, it looks like it's coming down to these levels. That could that be a reasonable base? None of these levels look specifically like they could be. That looks like it might be a level, support resistance level. Obviously, it's above where we are right now. Maybe the bullish case would be that this is making higher lows the entire life of the fucking coin. Maybe this one's linked to UPUP or some shit. There are coins that are paired with UPUP. The way that you can look at what, like, so you can put in UPUP, and then you can see all of these coins that are paired with UPUP. Oh, that's the so LUSD is that a fake? Oh, that's sorry, that's not Liquid Loans stable. Theirs is USDL. This is the forked This is the forked stable from the liquidity protocol, and that's why the price is like 7 zeros and a 3. That's there. It's paired with Hex. This one's actually the incentive token for the Grove, the Orange Grove, like Pussycats farms. That one's that one is that one, and then HOA is there as well. That's the like the main TANG coin. The fake WB, the fake wrapped Bitcoin is there, or that might be the real one. I'm not sure. DAY, that's probably PDAY. Pulse, obviously, and incentive token. So that's an interesting range, and that was just an example, by the way, of what you can do to see if, say, there's one of these coins that basically goes up, like some of the Atropa ones and stuff like that, and then if you go and look at what coins are paired with that, those coins might be getting dragged up by that action. So, and obviously it depends on the ratios of the liquidity and stuff like that. It's not quite as simple as, oh, you just link it up and it just goes to the moon with it. Like it's proportional, right? Like it's a second order effect, but it still matters, and it's still interesting to look at as potentially a reason why some of these other coins do well or have like move up. You know, I think KG from Internet Money commented that someone, not him, it wasn't me, guys. No, I actually believe him. I believe him. This was not a boating accident type comment. He said someone paired our coin up with another coin, with one of the Atropa coins, and our coin's gone up 70% because just purely from that. But like, well, actually, it would be one main factor. I'm not sure if he removed the other factors and worked out it was 70% just because of that, or he was just mentioning we've gone up 70% over this time period since it was paired up, and then obviously there's cofactors. Enough about that. It's just interesting. So this seems to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6 legitimate touch points on a very subtly ascending floor on HTR. And what else do we want to say? I'll move this to the new location. That coin we haven't had on the stream for a really long time. So that's cool. Yeah, these blue lines are going to come in very handy for me if I remember to religiously put them in and update where they are, because then I'll be able to see how long I haven't had a coin on a stream if I'm thinking of bringing it back in. Also, it will be whether I've charted it at all. Like, so although that's typically fairly easy for me to tell, but it's just going to be an added benefit. I think that's enough on that one. Yeah. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll drop a fib retracement. And I'm going to go down to the low close. So, right. So, oh, that looks nice. Yeah, look, these levels have been respected. Respect. Holy fuck, they've been respected. Holy shit. Get Ali G in here. You guys know I dressed up as Ali G, and I like people were like, holy fuck, you look so much like Ali G. So when I was dressed up as him. So here, look at this. Can you guys see this shit? Do I need to zoom in? Do I need to zoom in on this bitch? Do I need to give it a little slap? So here, look, support, resistance, support, support, resistance, support of the wick, support of the candle. Uh-oh. Now you broke down, bitch. Resistance, support, 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 resistance. This is this textbook shit. This is textbook shit. It is like, look. Let me draw this out for you motherfuckers. Let me make it real clear here. Support, resistance, support, sort of, no, support, resistance. Here, 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 well, here, here, here. Breakdown. See ya. See you later, bitch. Right? So you can see roughly by this shitty squiggle that I've put on the chart that it has really respected those levels a lot, which actually gives me a lot of confidence in the way that I operate. So not for you, just for me. For me only. I get selfish with my TA. You're not allowed to use it. And don't blame me. That's the government that does that shit. So you're not allowed to use my TA. But for me, I like this shit. It convinces me that that's probably the bottom. And so of this particular retracement. So that's pretty interesting shit. And also, holy shit, that means that that is like it's only just put in that new slightly higher low. So yeah, that's looking good. I might just have to end the stream and go and buy a shitload of this. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, look, like I'm going to start having minimum. I started mentioning before, actually, the things that I look at in terms of like what coins come on the stream. And I thought I'm going to be pretty coins that have like really, really, really tiny liquidity. Like as soon as it's less than probably about 2K, I'm going to start being like a bit more strict, like sort of a bit more harsh about whether it gets on or not. So like just to not have like coins but it's always going to be that if there's a reason why a coin where I'm like, oh, maybe not this one, then if that metric improves, it will come on, right? Like, so the way, and especially if a coin like crashes to F all, then someone can top it up, like, right? Like, as in if they're like, oh, this coin went to zero, they can just re-meet the token gate or whatever. And liquidity wise, look, I try to be as generous as possible in terms of my definitions and my restrictions, because I don't want to, but there are so many coins coming into the DAO now that I'm going to have to actually start to tighten up the or maybe I just make it like it's like 10 coins per show, and like it's the best ones in terms of like the metrics, like looking at a range of metrics. So your shit just drops off to the next show, and then it's a bit like almost like Ethereum blocks, where it's like not that it's a fee-based system, but in terms of if people are jumping the queue in a similar way that Ethereum transactions do with fees, but this would be looking at all metrics, not just fees, then other things just keep getting bumped out of the way which means eventually you might make it into a block. For the purpose of this analogy, the block is the stream, but maybe not if like coins that are more, we'll work it out. So, and you know what? I was going to start a Telegram group. So that people could kind of like pseudo-anonymously come in and be like, hey, did you notice that this coin is there and you haven't charted it yet? And i.e., I'm not saying whether I was the one that sent it in or not, right? And then someone told me that's a terrible idea because it's going to just be a shit show and waste my time. I'll work it out. The group doesn't exist yet. The Telegram group doesn't exist yet. So if you see a Telegram group that's based around this show, so far it is not real. It's a scam. In fact, just look, if I'm not in it, it's a scam, right? If my legitimate Telegram, and look to make sure, because it could be a fake me, right? I actually don't have that much, I don't have that many imposters that I've seen. Someone tried to actually impersonate in fact, this is worth noting, this is worth mentioning. Someone tried to impersonate my Instagram and scam all of my Instagram followers, which are mainly my in real life friends, right? My AFK friends. And I think the reason that they targeted my Instagram account was it mentioned crypto in the bio. So it mentioned Bitcoin and Hex in the bio. So I've removed that shit now. I removed any mention of that. I also had been fairly dormant on my Insta. I hadn't posted photos for like several months, like maybe longer. And I think that they look for accounts like that where they think the user of this account is probably dormant. So if we impersonate them, they're going to be less likely to warn their followers that it's a fake. They're going to be less likely to be hot on it to report it. They're going to be less likely to just notice in general, right? So, and then there was a third thing that I thought was like maybe what they look for. So it was crypto, mentions of crypto, that the account had been dormant for a while. And there was a third reason, I forget what it was. And so I fixed all of them, right? I fixed all of them and tried to, because many people brought it to my attention. Many people brought it to my attention. And largely they said, we thought you had started talking to us. And the thing that tipped us off was we realized it's not how you talk, right? So very fortunately for me, my friends, most of my followers on Instagram are my in real life friends, and they know how I behave. Like they know the way that I talk. So when someone is saying shit that's not, that they're like, that's not how he would talk. That was, and then once they warned me, then we were all mass reporting the fake one. And because one of the tactics that they use is they actually block you so that you can't see their account and you can't report their account. So you have to rely on all your friends. So I told people, I'm like, look, I can't report it. You have to report it. So anyway, you guys probably know a thing or two about all of that scam shit. But it was interesting because it wasn't targeting my crypto followers. It was targeting my AFK followers. So next. PLSPUP. So this is, I keep forgetting the names of these actual coins. This is like some kind of like, it's like a dog meme coin, I guess, right? Pulse Puppy. PLS Puppy. Pulse Puppy. Oh, I want to make sure this Japanese teddy bear one is on. Yeah, it is. It's on there. Right. So all I've drawn here is that there was potential for this to be the support level, but it didn't come down to this level. Actually, it came down to that one. Let's get a slightly higher time frame. So there's a candle here that had a wick before it put in the main move. And if we use that, I know this is getting pretty, like, this is getting pretty desperate, but in terms of it's, there's not, this is retrofitting the TA, right? Like I'm looking and seeing that that was the level that it went down to. And then I'm kind of just like looking for the spot that this is not normally where I would choose to put the level, but whatever. Now it can be a level because there's like two significant things that have occurred. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It looks like it's moving off. We've got the price. This is the price against Pulse. Let's take a look at this retracement. This is the 4-hour chart. Or let's turn log on. Let's mog this. Let's mog this shit up. Fuck. There we go. Motherfucker. Right, yeah, so this one also looks good on the fib. Here, yeah, up to this level, yeah, here. That wasn't meant to look like a fucking pin for charity donations or whatever. That one, it did actually go below that level. That one, it didn't make it back up to the level. So maybe it was looking pretty reasonable up here, and then these levels don't quite. But look, it doesn't have to be exact, right? Like it doesn't have to. The other one was nuts. The other one was textbook shit all the way down. So yeah, let's just keep an eye on that one. It's only just come off the low that might be the bottom, might be the local bottom. We don't know. What else did I want to say about this one? Oh, it's actually got quite a bit of volume. That's 1.6K of volume, 5.8K of liquidity, just over 100K market cap. This one's probably in the zone for where the degens typically like to play, or it might be like not quite high risk enough for some of the like real hardcore degens, but this one's kind of like the next level back from that level of degen, which is the guys that I was talking about before. That's like, if it's more than 24 hours old, then don't even talk to me about it. Then this is probably like your next category of degen, where the stats look reasonable. It's still very young, right? It's like 11 days. So it's between 1 and 2 weeks old. I'm not sure if another thing, you know how I was talking about before, where you can see, you search the coin and then you see what it's paired up with to see if other people are riding off its success. You can use that same strategy of searching the coin to see if it's like linked into any of these other ecosystems. Just be aware though that anyone can make a liquidity pool that pairs two assets together. So if I was to search this one, right, PLSPUP, and if we were to see that it was paired up with a bunch of Atropa coins, which it is, that doesn't necessarily mean that it was launched by the same team. However, it shows that that it's maybe gonna move with that ecosystem up and down. And it's actually that's Fluffy Drinks Fanta is actually a TANG coin. Finvestor, that's another one I've heard of recently. Kai Mato has been on the show before. HTR we did literally earlier in this show. GDAY is another TANG coin. Knights of Malta, SOS. So yeah, there's some coins, and up the top there was some Hopium, lol. Now I have to buy that one. So basically, there were some Atropa ones up the top, right? A1A, Jap Teddy Bear. I think I even saw Atropa in the list somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I just dreamt it. But anyway, so I hope that doesn't sound contradictory. It's technically not. That it's still interesting to see what things are paired up with, to see what people and whether the creator of this coin is trying to lean into another ecosystem, or whether that ecosystem or coins within that ecosystem is trying to lean into that coin. It could be either or both. So, but it's definitely one, right? It's definitely one, the other, or both. So I find that an interesting little thing to do. Let's move on to the next coin. This is the one with the flag that played out. So, oh shit, we forgot to put the blue line. In fact, since we're getting towards the end of the stream in terms of the charts that we're looking at, let's go back and make sure we did all the blue lines. I don't do it for Bitcoin. Yep, correct. Duck. Aha, we forgot to do it on Duck. And that one's important because we're going to be watching this ascending triangle. So maybe I did do it, but on the other time frame, but that's cool. So Duck on the other asset pair. That one's done. That one's Dilly. Dilly Dow's got it. OG, we didn't do it. Wow. I did not expect this many to be missing it. Right, here we go. Furu, also no. God damn. Do you know what? I need to add this vertical line thing to my fast tools. Wherever the fuck that is. I don't even have it up. You guys are going to think I'm a total boomer. I only just started using the multi-chart thing because normally I've got my watch list like all the way up, right? Nothing can stop me. My watch list is all the way up. And so I never really looked at this shit here. And I don't give a fuck about gainers and losers. That shit's usually fucked anyway, because you've got scam coins or brand new coins that are filling up all the like massive gains, drowning out all the coins that you actually want to find. And then the losing coins, like I definitely don't want to I don't want losing coins. Fuck that noise. So I never really looked at this shit. A new pair is the same. If I'm looking at a new pair, I want it brought to my attention. I don't want just the fact that it's new. That should normally be a red flag unless someone says, hey, this thing's really good and it's new, or hey, it's by this founder and it's new, etc. So multi-charts is in there as well. So I've just started using multi-charts like a fucking boomer. And there was something else about, we're looking at a way to try and get publicly accessible watch lists, so that rather than me having to always fuck around with adding the contract addresses of the coins that we're going to look at in the stream, make it even easier by having like a public watch list, if it's possible, that'll be in the stream, in the description of the videos in future, if we can work out how to do it. And then that watch list, there'll be a watch list for every episode. So it'll be like episode 1, and that watch list will have all the coins that were charted in that episode. And then, so it'll be like, someone can go back and look this episode, what were the coins that were charted, and see all the coins. And it just makes it easy, because then people don't even have to copy paste contract addresses if they want to look at a coin themselves. In fact, they don't even need to do that. Like, wait, yeah, they do. It's even easier than what I was about to say. They'll literally just be able to go into the description of the stream. And I know you guys are thinking like, oh, I wish it was that easy right now, but we're getting there. So you'll go into the description of the stream. It'll have the public watch list. You click on that. It'll load up a watch list, hopefully, if it's possible. It'll have all the coins for the stream, and then you can literally just click through them, even while we're streaming. So people can just actually very easily load the charts up as we're doing it. And in fact, you know what? Even though this stream's been going on for extra long amount of time, I'm actually going to look at the comments, because I give a fuck about children. I care about the safety of babies. And that's how much I care about the blockchain. That's how much I'm in it for the tech. So I'm going to actually look at the comments. If I remember, probably won't forget, because it's like 2 seconds away. We're just putting these blue lines in. Blue lines, blue lines, blue lines. Yep, these ones have all got the blue lines. Oh, so I got better as the stream went on. This one, I don't know if we're going to look back on this chart again until it's like full send mode, because it's just disgusting me at the moment. This disgusts me. It fucking disgusts me. Disgusting. Gross. Vomit. Vom. 90% down from base sack rate. Disgusting. 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 I'm disgusted at anyone that sold. I didn't fucking sell a single one. Or unless the people who actually sacked, where their plan was, I'm sacking for this because I missed Pulse, and when it launches, I'm going to sell this sack for Pulse. That's still disgusting. Still fucking disgusting. You'll disgust me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You do what you want. You do what you want. You are free to do what you want. I am free to think that you are disgusting for doing it. Let's go. Blue lines, blue lines, blue lines, blue lines. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. I'm doing the Ivan on Tech thing. Fuck you. I've got a gaming mouse, and like, I don't often, I should take more advantage that there's like a little button that I can change the sensitivity of the mouse on the fly by like levels. There's levels to this shit. There's levels to this shit, man. So this was a flag that played out, and that was a conservative flag. We could have actually said that whole thing was the flag. And then did that also get hit? Yeah, it went even higher than that. It obliterated any flag that you think that you could have drawn, bro, got fucking obliterated by my green dilly. That's a pretty good one though, because it actually closed there on the hourly. So this thing just flagged the fuck up. And now, in fact, I just want to see. So the last time that we streamed, we were actually towards the end of that flag. I'm unsure when I actually drew these orange lines. It was obviously well before today, but it might have been after that stream. So I'd have to watch that stream to see whether I drew them while we were on stream or whether I drew them after the stream. But I hope I drew them on the stream, because that would be a pretty epic flag prediction that actually smashed the target real quick after a fake out, yeah? Or although maybe you just redraw the flag and say, well, that's the flag. Yeah, let's do that. So that's good. What coin is this? Oh, so this is PEPE, but this is not the 0x69 PEPE. This is like one of the new PEPEs. I think this is the one by the same guy that does Trust Swap. I think it's 0xFEF. The contract address, like all the coins we've talked about today, will be in the description. And yeah, so potentially now let's just see where that support level would be if it did retrace all the way. Oh, it's already hit it. It's already hit that shit, bro. Hit that shit from the back. Like Sam Bankman-Fried in jail. Let's go. I stole that joke from Ivan's stream, by the way. Not that exact wording, but that topic. That fun topic. That's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. So this thing, this green line, I hope you guys can see that. I'll just go to a higher time frame so you can see fatter candles. I hope I hope that none of the charts we've looked at on this stream have been just like impossible for you guys to see what's going on. And so here, I'm going to fatten this level right up. Fatten this little piggy. Boom. More tequila, more lime. Let's go. So that's the vibe. It's retraced this. It's come back. It's found support on the top of the last move. And it's currently moving off. Where it goes, nobody knows. Next chart. This is a really interesting one. This is the little Jap teddy bear. And so I was looking at the coins. I was actually on a Twitter space while I was looking at it, which was really handy because someone actually explained to me what was going on. So I was looking at the Dilly DAO and I noticed that there was deposits of teddy bear. So not this coin, the main bear coin of like it's one of the main Atropa coins. This coin called Bear was getting deposited into the Dilly DAO address like every few hours. And then I noticed that there was a coin that I had noticed earlier, like that previously, called dividend something or other, dividend tracker, dividend_tracker. And I thought maybe that's something to do with it. And it turned out it was, but it was slightly different in terms of that it's when you buy or receive this coin, which is the little Jap teddy bear, you also get this other token called the dividend tracker. I don't know why they can't just make it based on how much of this coin you have, because it's exactly equal units. So if you've got like 1 million of this little Jap teddy bear, then you have 1 million units of that dividend tracker. So it moves with if you buy it, sell it, move it, send it, whatever, it's just 1-to-1. So I don't, obviously there's a technical reason for it, or maybe there's a technical reason for it that I'm not aware of. But the point is that whoever sent this into the Dilly DAO, I don't know whether they realized or not, but that meant that the Dilly DAO now just gets regular payments of teddy bear, which is pretty cool. However, those regular payments of the teddy bear token are very small, so they haven't added up to the token gate value yet. So we're not charting that coin, but we are charting this coin because this one did meet the token gate. So what we're going to look at is, this is where, and by the way, we've actually charted this ball, right? But at the time, I didn't realize it was also giving you these dividends of teddy bear. It's interesting. Like, it's an interesting concept. And I'm interested to see whether the dividends actually add up to enough to meet the token gate, that would be a cool episode where we're like, hey, there were these dividends that were being paid in this other token, and then that ended up getting either through the price pumping or the amount of tokens coming in, or maybe someone will just manually send it because Atropa's probably got like Giga Chads in their community. Speaking of, this is probably a good time to mention to tell if you are interested in seeing a coin that you love on this show, you don't have to send it in. You can try and convince other people to send it in. So in terms of people who you think would be keener or more financially able to meet the token gate, which is, in my opinion, it's effectively free, but obviously depending on what country you're in and etc., or how wrecked you got by the bear market, then maybe it's not free. Maybe it doesn't class as free. So you could just talk to someone else in your community and say, yo, there's this cool fucking Dilly DAO thing, do it, fucking punch it up, fire it up, let's fucking go. So here we were previously. This is the, oh, and by the way, I don't know if I already mentioned this. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Oh, I did mention that I'm doing it in terms of streaming onto getting this idea and porting it over to Twitter. But the part that I didn't mention that's to do with that is, if you guys think that the participation in this has been fucking crazy so far, wait until it gets like more visible, like the visibility that comes from, because some people are really slack, right? They're not going to click to go to a different platform that they don't normally use, or they can't be fucked or whatever. Look at how few people are subscribed to this channel, even though I tell all my Twitter followers, hey, this channel's really good. If you like my content over here, I'm over on this channel as well. It's got like 600 subs. Whereas on Twitter, I've got like 14,000 subs. So it's like, once we're dual streaming over there, I think the shit's going to get even more nuts in terms of like the participation rate. So if you want the best chance of having your shit on the show, plus that thing I was talking about where I am going to be looking favorably on people and communities and coins and that supported the idea early. So I think this might be like I don't want to make this sound like a limited time offer, but I think it's like a last chance before the train leaves the building, in terms of before this shit just gets blown the fuck up in terms of viewership, coin participation, everything. Like shit's about to get real crazy. I mean, it already is, but even more so. So I'm going to move this line up because I don't know why I'd drawn it in a way where it wasn't actually touching the bodies. This broke down, obviously, but we didn't know that at the time, right? We were here. So we were in this sort of like highly volatile distribution, accumulation sort of shit going on. And now this broke down. Let's see if we can. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's sexy. Mainly just because it's orange, but so this broke down. We're going to move this line straight away before we forget. Go over here. And it smashed its way up here and then came back down. And now it looks like it's possible that it's finding support on this descending trend line. Possible, right? The other thing that's possible, we're just sort of looking at this from like, we're looking at what's possible. So I would actually probably box that out, but I can't be fucked. But imagine that slightly thicker, right? So that it covers this low and that wick over there and these wicks and closes and shit through here, so that it also matches up. You know what? Let's just fucking do it. It takes longer to talk about it than it does to just fucking do it. Just fucking do it, bro. Just fucking do it, you boomer. I know that clicking buttons is hard for you fucking boomers, but let's just go from like, say, here to whatever, something like this. Fuck it, whatever. I know I said I was going to like include these closes or whatever, but I changed my mind on the fly. So anyway, we've got this zone. We did come back down to this zone for a bit, and that's the support of. So look, that was effectively where, if we go to it down to a lower time frame, there was a stopping point on the moon run, right? This is where they stopped at a space station before continuing the path to the fucking moon. And so it's possible that will act as support. It's also possible that it's breaking this downward trend. We'll have to see. This one will be an interesting one to watch. The cool thing about coins like this is, one, it's got a narrative like, if you buy it, you get yield. People love yield. Speaking of yield, shout out the yield farms. Man, I'm so pumped about those yield farms. I meant to keep actually going back to that every now and then throughout the stream, just to hype you guys up and also to check the stats, right? So let's do that now. Everyone loves fucking yield. Okay, yeah, this thing's definitely on the increase. That is definitely on the increase. So the amount of yield that's getting locked up, let's look at how much has been locked up in here. 3.6 grand so far. And by the way, I think so. Obviously, with no expectations, I think that you'll probably find that the yields are going to stay high. Like, I know this is already really high. But I think, yeah. In fact, I probably shouldn't even say shit like that. Like, anything can happen, guys. Anything can happen. You guys monitor it and see what you think about how high the yields are. And then there's all these farms still there as well, and those are all like, yeah, they're all still over like 1 to 2% per day. So the sorts of yields that people make in legacy in a fucking year, you just get that in a day. And here, this yield is also 500%, and I've seen it as high as 1,000. I've seen it fluctuate. This is going well. Like, it's good to see that people are, especially for people that are, they've got liquid hex, and they, for whatever reason, they don't want to necessarily lock their liquid bag. Then this is liquid, because you can actually remove it from the farm at a moment's notice. High yield. Yeah, I think even if you don't personally want to participate in this, I think this is a flex. I think this is a flex to tell other people on other chains, like, hey, our coin and our community and the devs and the DeFi protocols and shit like that, we've got high yield over here. So remember at the start of the stream when I said, you want to, that Ivan on Tech quote from his stream today, you want to be able to present opportunity, right? You have the opportunity to get rich over here. One is speculation and one is yield, right? Both of those. So I failed to mention yield, even though it's a big part of the stream. So going back to this chart over here, it's something I like about this token, because it's the narrative. You get yield just by holding it, which is, Internet Money does it, WePulse does it. They all use that narrative of like, if you hold our token, you don't have to do shit. You just get the yield, right? So then it makes people a little bit less scared also about the price going down. Like, if the price goes down, they're like, at least I'm getting the yield. Now that can just be cope, but also if that psychology actually becomes pervasive, then it could be enough that someone won't panic dump, because they're like, well, fuck it, I'm getting yield. I'll just buy more, or I'll just hold it, or whatever. Or the yield that I got so far kind of makes up for this dip. It's just, you might think it's just dumb, and maybe it is, but it's like, sometimes these psychological, I don't want to call them tricks, because I don't think they're malicious. Like, I don't think they're deceptive by the team. I think these psychological games that we play with ourselves, or that that you might build this narrative, or you might have this narrative presented to you, might change the behavior of the market. It might change the behavior of some or all of the market participants, or at least enough to impact the chart. So we like yield. People froth yield. The yield farms show that, and in fact, just like hex staking at all, like the fundamental reason of what brought the majority of our community together was yield. So yeah, let's go yield. Let's go yield. Yeah, fucking let's go yield. Let's go Tangang. Like, let's go to the Grove. Let's go to the orange grove and get some fucking yield. So there's that. There's that. What chart were we on? Yep. And we've blue lined the fuck out of that one. That one, I'm interested to see that one on the next. This one will definitely be on the next stream because this is like a too early to tell. And I'm sorry, guys. I don't think we're going to be able to get to many of the comments, but we'll get to some, right? So, because I don't want these streams to be super long and this thing doesn't have a timer. So I've got no idea how long we've been streaming for. Wait, didn't I start at shit? So this is almost 2 hours. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're bang on 2 hours. Fuck. We fucked it, guys. I put too many coins into this stream. It's because I'm such a nice guy. I'm like, I look at all these coins that have been sent in and it pains me to have to cut even any of them that have met the token gate out of the episode. And then even more so where it's like ones that I think would actually be great on the stream. So, but I think the solution is not 2 hour streams. The solution is streaming more often. So this is Doge. And this is interesting because this one, I'm not sure which Doge it is, but it's the, holy shit. Does that say 0x420? Holy fuck. That's actually a very memeable, you know how the PEPE crew get so frothy that they get foamed up. They just like froth themselves that they've got 0x69. This coin's got 0x420, bro. So anyway, so this is the 0x420 Doge, very memeable. It might be again by the Trust Swap guy, but don't quote me on that. And in fact, don't quote me at all, right? Unless you're clipping my streams for the lols, don't fucking quote me. Don't come around here. I'm out of coffee. Guys, I'm out of coffee. You guys have got me resorting to drinking water over here. But anyway, for this particular one, we're going to go to daily because this coin is old as fuck. Oh my God, 3 months old. Oh. Can we get this old motherfucker out of here? Can we get this boomer chart? So not only is your host a boomer, the charts are fucking boomers. So what have we got here? Sorry, my nose is just itchy. So it's like, it's my nose telling me that we've been streaming for too long. It's like, let's fucking go and rack Tang. So this thing, I think that this zone here, these lines, I've drawn these two lines. I think that that's like, this chart actually kind of reminds me of the actual Doge chart, the actual Dogecoin chart versus Bitcoin, and even though this is actually against the dollar, let's take a quick look at it versus Pulse. Yeah, that's cool. This thing's been pumping. But so against the dollar, this thing's kind of got a thing going on a little bit like what the actual Doge used to do. If you go and look at the Doge chart, it would do shit like this against Bitcoin where it would just like have these fucking pumps. And then it would have these periods where it's just like chilling at the floor and then it would just fucking pump again. And so who knows what it's going to do. But I think that this looks like it could be kind of like a reasonable area that people are like where it just like floors out and people are not willing to sort of, you know, it gets this like pump and dump, not in the traditional sense of a pump and dump. It's not a pump and dump, but the price pumps and then comes back down to the floor and then pumps again. So we'll see what happens. Let's see if that floor holds or whether people start to use this as an accumulation zone. Probably too early to tell. What did I want to dump on this? There was something I wanted to do to this chart. It wasn't the fib. There was something I wanted to do to this chart. Maybe we'll just, it wasn't this, but maybe we'll just measure from, say, what's this pullback? Yeah, that's basically your sort of 70, 80% pullback. And I know that this went below, that went below. So look, anything's possible, but I'm just noticing that every time, so this has come back to this zone once twice, 3, 4, let's just say 3 there, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the 7th time that this coin has come back into this zone before going on another pump. Now, some people might say, oh, but the pumps are declining over time. Like, what is this fucking pump for ants? What is this, a fucking pump for dogs? Yeah, it's a pump for dogs. It's called a dog coin, right? So it's dog money. So yeah, maybe, maybe these pumps are getting smaller and smaller, and maybe this time is different. But people have been saying that about Bitcoin like every cycle, and they've been wrong every time. So we'll wait and see. Another one to watch, another one on the watch list. Now, the next chart, for those of you who have bothered to stay around this long, all 20 of you, and in fact, those metrics, this little live view metric is always wrong. We've probably got 10 times more viewers than that. Or at least that's what I tell my mum as soon as the stream ends. So that little throat clear was the indication to you guys that that was not a joke, that I was actually serious about that part, and that I was just trying to play it off as a joke, and that it's actually serious. So let's go. So body language experts will tell you that that Tangent likes to flex the viewers that he never had. So the next coin I call shit. Okay. I don't know if that just blacked out for you guys, but that just fucking blacked out, and I want to go and black myself out after how long this stream has been. So Easter egg for those of you who have bothered to stay this long, whether you're a live viewer or a replay viewer. The next coin's an Easter egg coin. The Dilly DAO now plans, and again, no expectations. We don't know whether we're going to keep doing this, but the Dilly DAO now is doing a thing where every episode there's one like special coin that is not from token gating, but it is from the Dilly DAO in the sense that, and in fact, you know what? I'm not even going to go into detail how it gets picked, because some aspects of it are automated and some aspects of it involve humans, but it's some percentage automated, some percentage humans, some percentage magic, 100% Dilly DAO, right? So the DAO has decided, it's chosen this coin. Don't go and cheat. Don't go and look in the description to see what the coin is. And we won't always put it at the end, so you won't be able to cheat this. But this coin, this is in an attempt to kind of like find a watched, I don't want to call it a gem, like a watched coin. Yeah, fuck it. We don't need to label it. No labels. No labels. It's polyamory. So this is it. This is the coin. It's called WABBIT, right? So I guess I don't know. I don't know the backstory. In fact, did any of these coins have backstories? Oh, I forgot to tell you the backstory that I do know about. So let's go back to this coin. Oh, that's been pumping. That's been pumping. Let's just look at, we've been streaming for 2 hours. Not that this stream would ever influence price. Not that this stream would ever influence price. But I'm just looking at, no, the price actually went down at first while we were streaming and then went up. So clear evidence, but went up harder than it went down. But anyway, I just thought it'd be interesting to see like what the price chart's been doing while we've been streaming, not to do with any influence that this stream might have over the chart, more to do with just, hey, in the period that we've been sitting here, what's this coin been doing? So the backstory of this coin, most of you will already know. It's called Greg the Dark, which I failed to actually mention. We just talked about the ticker, but it's called Greg the Dark, which is there's a influencer, like a Twitter personality, YouTube personality that's well known within the Hex and Pulse Chain ecosystem. I like his content, even though I don't get a lot of time to watch all of it because he pumps out a lot of content. His name is Somi, and he came up with this idea of referring to the benevolent entity that exists that may or may not exist within the ecosystem as Greg the Duck, right? So that we don't get any misunderstanding, so that he doesn't come under any kind of like, oh, you shouldn't be saying this, or you should be saying this, or whatever. He just calls the potential for a benevolent entity Greg the Duck. So the coin, and so I am not saying this coin was made by Somi. I am not saying this coin was made by Richard Hart. I am not saying this coin was made by an African priest in a third world country. The only person that I know, like, I only know that I didn't make the coin. And other than that, it could have been literally anyone. It could have, the set of people that, in fact, it might not have even been a person. The set of entities that may have created this coin, from my perspective, is anyone but me. And that actually makes it sound like I did create it, because it's like, it almost sounds like, whoa, Tangent, why are you like emphasizing so heavily that it wasn't you? And I'm just saying that that's the extent of my ability to know things, right? I'm like those memes where it's like, I'm a cat and I know things, right? So all I know about this coin is it's named after the benevolent entity that's within the system, and it was created. Why is this triangle so far away from these actual candles? Is Dex Screener that fucking wigged out? Oh, there we go. So yeah, on the 4 hour it looks perfect, but on that low time frame it was like way off. Anyway, it's still a triangle. Still a triangle. What was my point here? Oh, so this was one of the ones that I do know the backstory. So Pulse, you all know the backstory. Greg the Duck, that's the backstory. Dilly Dow, previous episode, backstory. This is the token of the farm's backstory. That's the backstory. Furu, famous, created it, but now it's a community token, backstory. Patius, GigaChad devs, backstory. Glass, I don't know the backstory. Up, it goes up. It says it goes up, it goes up. PLSX, you know the backstory. This one, I don't know the backstory, don't know the backstory, don't know the backstory. PEPE, you know the... This is an interesting one. So we've got two coins in here on this stream, PEPE and Doge, where, and they're not like, so, and even the coins that people think of as the originals are typically not the originals. Dogecoin's an exception, that there is a Dogecoin that everyone knows of, that everyone knows that's the actual Dogecoin. The proof of work Dogecoin is the actual Dogecoin, right? That was the first and actual Dogecoin. And that's been around forever. With everything else, the ones that people think are the first ones are typically not the first ones. So we'll see what happens. Click, click, backstory, 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 backstory. So this coin is young. It's only 4 days old. Like it's, sorry, less than 5 days old. 4 days, 18 hours. It has, so I haven't drawn on this yet, but let's get fucking fancy with these lines, bro. Let's get generous with the lines. So yeah, this, I mean, I don't like to use the first candle because it's like price discovery. No. So I'm interested in watching this coin. I'm told that the founder is, it might be the Trust Swap guy again. Have I just attributed all the coins to the Trust Swap guy in this episode? Like, do we need to get him as a sponsor or some shit? So don't quote me, but this might be another one that's by. Let me reverse this. Of the people who have spoken to me about this coin, I've been told that the founder is legit. So, legit founder, according to anonymous sources, new, low, like it's low liquidity, low cap. So medium to high risk, I guess. Let's actually get that tool that looks at the fixed volume range profile. Let's do that, but let's actually go from candle 2. Ugh, where's the fucking candle 2? That's what I'm talking about. Fuck that first candle off, because that shit is price discovery, like just volatile, sort of like volatile, really uncertain, manic price discovery, where you've got some bipolar bitch just like fucking buy, no, sell, quick, sell it. Oh my God, it might be a rug. Fucking get out. And like, bitch, calm down. It's fucking $2 worth of tokens. Who gives a shit? Do you want the moon bag or not? Do you want the moon bag or not? That's a question that you all need to ask yourselves. Do you want the moon bag or not? So for me, I want the moon bag. So yeah, look, most of, that's surprising. That volume, most of the volume must have been early. So yeah, this is another one. We need to keep an eye on it. I'm going to crack out the blue line. But notice that this does not have the gigantic sniper bot, early buyer, insiders buying up the chart like multiple thousands of %, and then you're buying in at a high level. Now, that's not to say you can't buy those coins and still get like another 10x, right? I've been doing it, like as in I've been attempting to do it and failing. No, don't worry about me. Worry about the fact that this is now basically back to where the coin started in price. It formed what might be the bottom. It's set a higher low, right? So and keeping in mind that I'm just looking at this objectively, right? Like I'm looking at it objectively and subjectively, and we're just talking facts. I'm not saying that this is going to be the next moonshot. Like I don't want the special coin that we have that's like the Dow coin or whatever. Like, oh, in fact, we were meant to do Dilly of the week as well. What was the Dilly? Oh, I mean, it's probably this one. It's probably the OG incentive token, since it just went fucking dillying like a 2.5x candle. But let's be fair. Let's be fair. So this one's got some dillies on the chart. That one's the one we were just talking about. Who gets Dilly of the week? Oh, I mean, it could be that one that flagged. Where was that flag one? PEPE. Do we give it to PEPE? Because it did occur. This blue line was back here or whatever. You know what? We'll give it a draw between PEPE and OG. I actually like how OG, it stands for Orange Grove, but OG is like OG, obviously. So original gangster in the house. Coming back to this chart here. So we've put in a higher low, and interestingly, it's actually coming up again right now against this descending resistance, this downtrend line that we've got here in orange. Let's get rid of this volume thing just so you can see a little bit better. So look, for me personally, if I see this thing come out and find support, or maybe even if it doesn't, or whatever, like fucking the full reverse rocket shit, the old reach around. So that is sick to keep an eye on. And that's really where it's at. That's really where it's at. Should we drop a fib extension on this mofo? This has largely been going sideways in the time that it has existed. So could this be the bigger the base, the higher into space sideways thing? Or could it be that, so I guess you'd have to ask the question, is this thing going to get adequate attention for it to send? If it's possible that it could get attention, and I guess then you'd maybe one way to do that is look into the ecosystem that that's potentially a part of. Did this thing just pump? I thought we were only just at this line, or did I change? Man, I think these candles move around when you change what time frame you're on. Or did I even change the time frame? Oh my God, I think I've been on this stream for too long, guys. Fuck. This is either wigging me out or like the candles are fucking tripping. Either I'm tripping, the candles are tripping, or you're tripping. And it's probably all of the above, right? None of this shit is real. It's a miracle that any of this shit works. It's a miracle that any of this shit works. You need to believe this. That's the one thing that I will say, that it's a miracle that any of this shit works. Now my whole trend line is busted. All of it, it's all going to shit, guys. There's just candles just that don't give a fuck. They don't respect the trend lines. They don't care at all about children. Fucking crazy. So is that, yeah, that's where we're at. This is like the Easter egg coin that we're just going to keep an eye on, right? Like, so a lot of the coins that we look at will be actually, no, that's not fair. A lot of the coins we look at, it's dictated by the token gate. So we don't know, right? But this coin that we will try to pick one coin, or the DAO will pick one coin a week that could be like one to watch. And that is not buy and wait for the pump. In fact, maybe I'll have to scrap this whole idea just in case, because there's going to be some fucking idiot out there that's like, that's the McAfee coin of the week. That's the one that you need to buy and get the pump. Like, there'll be some fucking idiot that ruins it for everyone, being like, that's the pump coin. That's the one coin that is pre-pump. But the point of it, if you guys hadn't already fucked it up, was going to be that it was like meant to be the coin that where by a consensus of by bots, automated processes, and looking at all the different coins, and then by consensus also of a group of people who know what the fuck they're talking about, trying to find something that would be one to watch and use as an example of being like, hey, look, we're looking at this. This is what we're looking at. This is how it looks. These are the stats and shit like that. And then see if it pumps or not. It might go to 0, right? And so, yeah, maybe we will, maybe we will keep the segment just to fuck people up, and then send the price to 0, or like hope that it goes to 0. Be like, I fucking hope this coin goes to 0. Teach these motherfuckers a lesson. So that's about it. That's it for the stream. I promised I would look at comments. Hopefully there's not too many. It's one of the benefits of, oh my God, there's so many comments. Jesus. Shout out Dozer. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it on this bright fucking orange page and make myself a little bit bigger as I go through these comments. Where's the shit? How do I go here? Fuck, do I put this on a separate stream? It won't be as fun if we put it on a separate stream. So people are saying, let's fucking go. Red Squirrel's here for the algo. Throwing in an oi oi. Dad. The audio's good. Thanks for that. Granny's in the house. Hey, Hans, how you going? Yeah, yes. Granny's in the house. Hans has a coin now. It's called Granny. Is the gold mic for show? Yes. Yes, this mic is not connected. I use a HyperX. That's why I was able to do that bit before where I mic dropped, without you guys even hearing any kind of impact to the audio quality. Yes, lol, sick, legend. Too late. Oh yeah, so coins that get this, because this happens a lot, where people that hear that, like, that either that I'm about to go live on a stream or that I'm currently streaming, quickly try and send coins in. But like you would have heard me say earlier in the stream, it's hard enough for me to work out what's going on with the coins, and I have to do all that shit pre-stream. So coins that get sent in shortly before the stream or during the stream go on the next show. So that's very cool. Greg the Duck, yes. Sorry, I should have mentioned that when I first mentioned the stuff. And so it looks like I've got a lot of fans of Hans's community, Hans's TA community. And I actually quoted Hans earlier in the stream, actually, to do with the double bottoms and also the retrace, like the 68% retrace. So, and that was without knowing that I had Hans fans in the chat. Is that hex pool? Yeah, it's a single asset pool. Yep. Yes. So this question here, surprisingly, is to do with, and again, how crazy is this that I'm just like accidentally nailing all these questions, like by having this thing already up. Yeah, this is the first single asset pool of the Orange Grove. Shout out Tang Gang, shout out the merch, shout out the merch shops that are in this merch. Was sent to me. This is the Pulse Chain logo with the orange peel, if it actually looks like orange peel, and this heart-shaped orange slice, and also that clock behind me. Oh, you guys can't even see that shit. Can't even see that shit. How do I? Maybe if I go like this is probably not worth the effort, but if I go like this, fuck it. There's a clock behind me, which is also from the same merch shop. So just so motherfuckers know what time it is, okay? So that motherfuckers know what time it is. I'm just sorry, I'm trying to get the glare off the thing. So that motherfuckers, if you need to give a gift of love and respect, so that motherfuckers know what time it is, this thing has got the Hex logo. It's also orange, and then you can just rep up. So yeah, single asset pool, which is pretty cool. Rabbi is great, just started using it. Yes, Rabbi, I love Rabbi. Dad, you didn't, Dad. I gave more warning about this particular stream than any stream I've ever done in all of history, because I was so hype about all the shit I had to talk about, like 9 Mil, the Pussycat Farms, fucking Greg the Duck, fucking HOA, like what else was in there? Like all the shit. Oh, Mana's drop that minted out, like all of this hype shit. So I gave a 2-hour warning. I was going to do 3 hours, but then I realized I couldn't create this. Don't worry. I'm not going to do the Uber driver thing where I tell you all about the intricacies of what is required to get a stream set up. So HNC, thanks for including it in the show a few weeks back. Really cool. Yeah, that one, I almost had it in this show again to look at what, like, to update on it, but the the price had gone down, and there was a couple of other reasons, and also there were just so many new coins I had to be. But you know, like, look, it might make the show again in the future. So OG Granny here. So that was the HNC comment. Yep. And also I think the most effective way to get a coin, especially if a coin goes down a lot, I think it needs to be re-token gated. Like if it goes down a lot from when it was sent into the DAO, I think the best way to get it back on the show again is for someone to re-meet the token gate, unfortunately. or unfortunately, fortunate for the DAO, seems to always gives me the best prices. I assume you're talking about Petius. Oh, Petius should have been on that list, by the way, when I was doing those shout outs to all the GigaBrain devs. Just when I was doing that little recent shout out. I think it's testnet. Oh yeah, how fucking elite am I that I know exactly what these comments are talking about? So this is talking about the 9 mil decks, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, people always cheat. It's fine. Cheating's fine. I've noticed not just I gave TANG a lot of credit for being like real calm and not stressing out and panic selling and shit like that. But I'm actually noticing it's not just the TANG that attitude is either spilling out from the TANG, or it's like I'm noticing maybe it's just like the bear market has been going on so long that people expect price down, so they don't panic as much. When look, there's still jeets and there's still people that panic, but it's not as bad as I expect. I expect to have that shit where you see a red candle and motherfuckers are like ducking, running, and hiding, right? And it's not that bad. So, sup, y'all. Maddie says hi. Almighty Hexagon says hi. Lol, nice. Up and to the left. Dozza. Cheers for being here, Dozza. I appreciate that shit. Dozza also has a stream on this channel. So that's another reason to sub to this channel. I really like this idea that we're doing. It's like, I know that it's not an original idea to have multiple different people and multiple different streams and stuff all within one channel, right? Like Discourse Syndicate's been doing it since the start. And that's how the show that is the first show that started this channel, which is the Hex Late Show, originally was on Discourse Syndicate. So it's like, this is like we've forked the idea and forked the show. So, yep. So there's some people like, yep. I don't mind you guys mentioning other coins in here, but just be aware to get it on the show, it has to be token gated. So pumped. Yep. So cool. Tangent is an absolute legend. I really appreciate this comment. You know, there was one hater that was saying that I'm too up myself, and I was thinking, I don't think I am, and it's possible that they've heard me joking around in a Twitter space or something, and they've misunderstood my style of humor to think that and even then, I don't even really think that my jokes that often, apart from one just very recently where I was like, how elite am I? I mean, maybe sometimes people, but I like highlighting when something, you know, and I'm not doing the full Richard Hart shit of like, I'm always right. Donald Trump, Richard Hart, although that attitude works, right? Like when you drive that narrative and you're like, I'm always right. Saw a hilarious interview with Trump. It was hilarious to me, right? It was hilarious to me. He was talking about all the lies that other politicians do. I won't go into this too much because I know this stream's already been going on for ages, but he was like, they're lying. They lied about this. They lied about that. They lied about this other thing. You know, he said his golf handicap was 6. It's not a 6. I fucking lost it, bro. I was literally lolling so hard. Like, you're talking about these lies on a scale that actually impact the entire nation. And then you just casually throw in as your last example, but with a full straight face, just casually throw in, he lies about his golf handicap. Just one for the boys. Just like slide that one on in there. Like I was just like, bro, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. How can people like? I don't want to risk saying shit that's like, you know, because obviously he's a polarizing person just like Richard Hart, right? So I don't want to get we don't have enough subs on this channel to risk me like, because and people are dumb. They hear something and then they just overlay their shit and they're like they ignore the fact that I'm talking about the fact that he said something funny and they're just like, oh, Tangent's pro-Trump, oh, fucking unsubscribe. Like that shit happens, bro. That shit happens, as dumb as it is. That shit can and will happen. So no politics, even though my comment was not political. What else is in here? We got some emojis. We got some emojis. Let me just read these comments and find something real good to feature. Yeah, Jeets are going to get wrecked. Jeets are going to get so wrecked. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of people in the comments that thought that you put the coins in the comments for me to chart, but you need to watch episode 1 of this series to work out how to understand how it works. And I do love it when communities come up and show enthusiasm. It's great. I guess the benchmark is the TANG gang, right? Like if your community is in the comments repping as hard as or harder than the TANG gang, then you're doing something right. And I like to see strong communities. Strong communities is another one of my investment theses, however the fuck, whatever, bro. Let's talk however I want. I make up my own words. I make up words. That's how much I don't give a fuck whether I'm using the right word or not. That's not true. I give a shit about accurate language and about children and about the lives of babies, Roger. This is where Roger and I see eye to eye, okay? So people are commentating on pumps. I mean, that is the point of this show, is dillies, green dillies. Make love to the chart. That's quite hilarious. I've lost track of this. Someone asked me what time it is. I've lost track of time. By the way, my city is doxed, so it's not like I'm trying to like hide my time zone. I lose track of time when I'm this hype. I'm so fucking hype. Fuckers, listen to me. No, you know what? We've covered it. We've covered it. It's like, if I think it's worth starting to fuck around with DeFi at this period in time. We've the G's and the OGs have done the time and gone through all of the pain and are now. So if you're new to crypto, or you're new to the Pulse Chain ecosystem, or you had an attitude where you don't like experiment very much or whatever like that, people who fuck around now are going to find out they're going to find out what it's like to be able to buy yachts. So I encourage experimentation. And so what I'm doing is, if I hear someone say, hey, I've been doing this and I've been making mad gains doing it, rather than just writing that shit off and saying, fuck that guy, fuck that idea, fuck that coin, fuck that community, fuck that whole concept. In fact, fuck crypto, I quit. I lean in the other direction, right? I go, okay, someone's claiming that they've just been repetitively making 10x's, right? I think you guys will know the example that I'm giving here. I'm going to look at it, and I might just try start with a tiny amount of money that I don't give a fuck about, and see because there's a thing called Murphy's Law. There's a chance that as soon as you try to do it, it stops working. That doesn't mean that person was lying. It means that Murphy decided to come and fuck you harder than any of the other banksters, governments, Sam Bankman-Fried, the fucking scammers, the fucking jeetsters, the fucking jesters, the fucking haters, the fucking. So, but if you don't check it out, and then you can be like, see, this is why I don't get involved in this shit, because this wasn't a guaranteed thing, or it wasn't high enough probability. This person just got lucky, or this person was exaggerating how good it was, or whatever, right? But if you don't play around, if you don't fuck around, you won't find out, right? So I know fuck around and find out is normally used in the negative sense. I am appropriating the culture for the culture. So fuck around and find out. What else have we got in here? Yes. Oranges in the chat. Tangent the Brave. Thanks, Lies Beneath the Truth. Let's fucking go. Oh, that's it. Boom. Low sub count channels for the fucking win on being able to catch up on the... I probably didn't need to rush that. I probably could have paid more attention. I apologize if I missed your comment. I apologize if I missed your coin. The flood is real. The dusting is real. The flood is real. We are improving things. We're going to get more we're going to get a higher ability to monitor these things. I have high hopes for 9 mil and what they're building, and the block scanner that they are building, I think is going to be dope. And I think it's going to be very beneficial to me and to the Dilly DAO in terms of the ability to see the coins and shit, and the dust will hopefully just fucking be at the bottom of the list. I won't have to waste time doing that shit. And or at some point, maybe the Dilly DAO will be able to actually pay some other motherfucker to do it. So in terms of saving my time, and I can just be the one that just fucks around on stream and just swears a lot, because that's what seems to be what everyone likes. So we give the people what they want. I've learned so much so fast. Yeah, see, this is the right attitude, right? I've learned so much so fast, just had to take my moves slowly since I'm soloing. Yeah, and like talk to other people. It's, community, shared energy. Yeah, these comments, I'm glad I saw these comments before the stream ended, because this is the exact correct attitude. This is what I'm talking about. So soloing, you're on point. I'm always investigating and open to all kinds of new things while holding my core strategy. Yeah, dope. Community, shared energy, spread the vibes, intentions aside. Yep. So thanks for the stream. I'm new here. Awesome. Yeah, so there's a TANG Gang Telegram that's worth joining. That it's a great way, if you're new to crypto, to have a very positive introductory experience that's not so price focused. The Pulse Chain community is definitely where it's at. I really, really, really do think another thing, and this is another Ivan on Tech quote. He was like, he had questions in his comments being like, is this coin going to pump? Could this coin do a 10x? Will this coin ever recover? Will this chain recover? And he said, look, these are all possible. Most of these coins can do 10x's without even going back to their all-time highs. So it's possible that these chains will do 10x's, blah, 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 but they're old chains, they're old coins. And he's like, I like the new shit. He's like, most of my shit goes to the new shit, right? And so Pulse Chain and Pulse X are new to this cycle. I know Hex is not new to this cycle, but I still am very bullish on that as well. Obviously, because it's kind of like it's tied into it, right? Like, because it's part of the same ecosystem. I think that Pulse Chain is going to be, well, maybe it already is, the most vibrant and dedicated community. This is actually something I'm glad I remembered this. I want to have this on the record. I tweeted out, there's all these Richard Hart tweets that we talked about, but what about my tweets, guys? That's all well and good that Richard Hart tweets out and he gets thousands of likes and thousands of retweets. But what about little old me, right? So we're going to go to my tweets. This is a message that I sent to Richard Hart, right? So Gold Key had this cool idea where, this has already had like 2,500 views. Holy shit. So Gold Key had this idea, and I reckon this is the call to action for this stream, aside from going and checking out all the cool shit that we talked about, like that's being worked on really diligently by Gigabrain devs, like the new farms and the 9 mil stuff and all of that stuff, Patius, all that shit. I recommend going to this tweet. It's by Gold Key. If you could send one message to Richard Hart that he read, what would you say? Right now, we're doing this in the universe sense, like the way I want to think about this, the way I want you to think about this, or the way I like to think about it, rather, because I don't want to seed ideas in your head, is imagine if someone was unable to be contacted, either because they had passed or they've gone to a different planet and the comms are bad, or for whatever reason, or they've gone off grid. They live in a Faraday cage now, and like you can't communicate with them. So for whatever reason, you are unable to actually communicate with this person, but you want to send a message out into the universe. That's how I'm treating this. A message that you would like pray and send to your loved ones. My message, and I thought about it, I sat up on my kitchen bench like a child, right? Cross-legged on my kitchen bench, thinking about what would I say to Richard Hart? And at first I thought maybe my public message and my private message might be slightly different. What I would say to him in private, not in like that there's something that I want to say to him in private that I can't have public, more just in terms of like the content might be a bit more scathing towards his enemies, right? Where I would be like, fuck those motherfuckers, like that kind of thing, maybe. And then I thought, no, you know what? Let's keep it positive and do one that would be either private or public. And this is what I wrote. This is all a game that you already won. Hope that you are proud of the amazing products being built by amazing teams on Pulse Chain. The ecosystem is in the perfect position to dominate this bull market. I would love to see a photo of you and the others on Team Icarus. I got that term from Andrew Tate, by the way. It's like if you fly too close to the sun, you get fucked. All pulling the big middle finger. Because I just had this, I imagined him with Jordan Peterson and Russell Brand and Andrew Tate and maybe even Donald Trump, even though I didn't tag him here. He's probably not on Twitter. Joe Rogan, Julian Assange. The reason I didn't add Ross Ulbricht is because he didn't get fucked up. Like he was still unknown when he got fucked up. He didn't get fucked up because of becoming too big in terms of attention and that. And maybe Assange was sort of like an outlier on the list as well. Anyway, probably overthinking this whole thing. But this idea that people that basically got fucking targeted because they did too much to make the world a better place, in my opinion, right? You might disagree. And that's maybe why I left Trump on the list, because like people just get fucking weird about it. And so, but these other people on this list, and actually Tate and Musk also, this is the thing that Richard Hart himself said. It's like, as soon as you start making big moves, it doesn't matter even if you're trying to do all of the best possible shit and keep everyone happy and do the best thing possible for humanity, you're going to have like a pretty large component of fucking haters. So anyway, I just thought a photo like that would be pretty cool. And maybe we could AI that shit. And then my final message to him was, please stay true to your original vision and go for glory. Now, you guys can interpret what you think I mean by that, but I would like to see him, whether that means more public visibility once the legal shit is out of the way, or whether that means like coming in hard and destroying haters and people who are opposed to the community, or whether that means like glorious green candles, like whatever the fuck, right? Like maybe it's all of these things and more. But I spent a lot of time thinking about this message that I would send to Richard. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys will take time to do the same thing. And then there's obviously the request that Richard made. And so that's the call to action, is this as a fun one, and then that other one where he's asked for the public comment, where that link that's on his Twitter is probably the main call to action. Check out the Orange Grove Farms as well. And that's it for this stream, guys. I have enjoyed this. I hope that you guys found some value in it. And LFG. I'm getting more bullish by the day. That has continued. If we could chart my bullishness, it has been up and to the right. Now I have just a boomer my shit over here to find the end stream button, and we're out.